oh fuck, what's his name? I'll think of his name. Polygram was sold and then sold the company that, yeah, it's a long story. In any case, the guy asked me to do a sequel and paid me to write a script. And I wrote a script and I was very happy with it and I gave it to him. And he calls me in for a meeting and he says, this is terrible, this is shit. You stole my money. This is appalling. I mean, he really went on and on and on to the point where I went, well, fuck you. And I walked out. That was the end of that. And you know what he did? To punish me, when Polygram went under, which it did, it had a fire sale. And he sold, because the rights of American Werewolf are half mine and half Polygram's. And he did it to punish me successfully. He sold Polygram's half to a German company. And so we co-own the rights. And in fact, Dimension has optioned the remake rights for 3 years in a row. And I was very excited because it was like coming up and they hadn't done anything and they re-upped and it expires this May. Wow. And do you know where Adam Green is? Adam Green told me a great story, which is he went to meet with the producers of the remake of American Werewolf in London, and they said to him, well, first of all, we want it to be 2 girls. And he went, oh, that's kind of cool. And then they said, and no werewolf. And he went, what? And he said, no, we want it to be like a viral that makes people go psychotic, insane, and homicidal. And Adam said, you're going to make a movie called American Werewolf London without a werewolf. And they said to him, with that title, it's a $30 million opening. Doesn't really matter what it is. Listen, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Halloween, all these movies, they project the opening. They don't give a fuck if the movie's any good. And that's why most remakes happen, because they're pre-sold. But I cashed the check, so I'm not. But talk to the man. No, seriously, the movie's fine. But talk, and I always think David's brilliant in it, by the way. Anyway, here.
David, please. Has this gone again?
Hello. Hey, David. So tell us, what was your worst day in that makeup? What was that? Which day?
Oh, probably, I know I was having a little trouble in the floor. Now, there's a stage in the transformation when the body's stretching, and I'm looking down at it, and it's, 9 feet long, or however long this creature is. I'm actually in the floor of the set.
The set was built up.
The set was built almost, about this high where these are here, and I was in the floor. And they couldn't get out, and so I, was getting that applied. And it's not. At some point, there are guys underneath. They go, "Let's see if he's ticklish." And so that's at that point, you're kind of going, "Wait a minute,"
It was also the last week of filming.
It was kind of a lot had gone on, and but it was. I mean, I had studied acting in London 5 years before. This is in the 70s. So now 1981 comes along and I'm back in London. I'm 4 blocks from Lambda, this drama school that I'd gone to, and here I am going through some changes. And it was really just, it was wonderful to think that here I am, I've come back here 5 years as a student, and now here we are running down, in Trafalgar Square and in Piccadilly Circus, these amazing places. And those were some of the most, you just can't do those stunts anymore. And I think can get away with it. We've pulled off a lot of amazing things in that film, and so that's what made it so much fun to be on.
Cool. Well, makeup for 9 hours sounds like a dream come true to me. I would love that. Running naked through London is a thing entirely. What about the wolf cage?
Well, the wolf cage, yeah, and there's another thing that you'd probably, if you watch it and you notice. The park, we started really early in the morning at, was it Regent's Park, I think?
Yeah, it's a zoo.
Regent's Park Zoo. So, this is a scene where, okay, I'm going to be running, there's going to be some nudity, oh yeah, it's March in London. Yeah, it's 35 degrees, or whatever it is. And all of a sudden I happen to look over and there's people, I go, what's happening? They go, oh, the zoo's open, dear. What? Yeah, the zoo's open. There are people literally in the background. Yeah, they opened the zoo. They were going to close it for us for the whole day. So we got there really early in the morning, and I think we were there until whatever time we had, 10 or 11 in the morning, and we had to get all this stuff. And then later, of course, that night, I believe, and then we lit it up. I think it was later in the afternoon. The wolves came, and these were real wolves with little teenage girls as their sort of wranglers. I'm going, that's really helpful. Thank you very much. So how are they? How are these wolves? Well, you can't really train wolves. So they said, they've been fed. They've been fed. Thank you very much. That's all I need to hear. And fortunately, we got, I got out of that cage in one take.
Do you see how fast he gets out of that?
Yeah, it was like, cover their jewels, we're going northbound.
Thank